you both might have a different viewpoint. Our job is going to be to bring you both in a way together to make the best investment decision.
Sometimes the time is right when the time is right. He is somebody I met in 2017. He always wanted to start with an investment in the Dubai market. And 2024 is what it was for him. He, along with another friend of his, wanted to really take a look at the Dubai market again and really start investing. So what we ended up doing is have them sign up on the Dubai Wealth Builder program. And it's a little bit of a challenge trying to get two friends who might think alike, can also think differently sometimes. Him and both of his friends were then escorted along into a strategy session. We then went on to help them virtually select properties, qualify based on the criteria that we established. One of them then visited Dubai. We went physically to see the properties, the different showrooms, and get a feel of the areas and the locations so that we could then make better decisions. The process took about maybe a month to 2 months, but the good thing is they win by getting the best property. Dubai wins by getting a great customer, great client. We win because we get to service them, and the real estate market in Dubai wins overall.
I know I'm awake since 5:40. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon to everybody who's joining in. Thank you very much for tuning in. Everybody on YouTube, guys, I can't see your names unless you say hello, okay? Hello in the question mark, okay? In the question section. But everybody on Instagram, Sana, Kichu, Sharmi, Joban Putra. What an interesting last name. Thank you very much for joining in. I generally take questions on Dubai real estate, sometimes live, from agents and real estate owners, real estate investors, like people who are looking to invest in real estate. I take questions, and people who are not looking to invest in real estate but are looking to work in real estate, I take questions from them as well. Welcome, Aisha Sheikh, Tanveer. Welcome, guys. Welcome for showing up. Love to take questions that you guys might have. I'm going to be answering questions that people have asked over the past week, okay? So let's take some of these questions up here. So Muhammad Hijab asks a very interesting question, and the question is this answer? So I think I talked about a community, and I said, is this worth it? Is it worth it to invest in this community? And this gentleman comes up and says, is this after... guys, everybody who's here, Abu Bakr, Israr, welcome. Everybody on YouTube, welcome. Guys, I love to take questions. I love for you to say hello, hi, where are you guys from? What's your nationality? Why are you tuned in? Tell me in the chat below. I love to take questions. Assalamu alaikum. Where are you from? I am originally from Pakistan. Sister Aisha asks, I am originally from Pakistan. Where are you from? I am originally from Pakistan. I was born and raised in Dubai, okay? So Muhammad Hijab asks a very interesting question. Is this answer considering the significant number of projects which will be delivered soon to customers? Don't you see that after the new increase in rent prices in Dubai, people who cannot afford to pay will shift to another Emirates? I see yes, and I see that has happened in the past as well. So this is something interesting. I'm going to share with you guys, people who've never actually, or who've not been in Dubai for an extremely long period of time. I'm going to share with you guys what happened the last couple of times, okay? So from 2002, 2003, when rents started skyrocketing, you saw a lot of people move actually to Sharjah. Okay, so a lot of you guys don't know this, right? So a lot of people ended up moving to Sharjah from Dubai. Or if they were coming into Dubai and they found that Dubai rents were too high, they would move to Sharjah. Okay, but does that mean Sharjah rents don't go up? Sharjah rents would also go up. And then if they were in Dubai and they had moved to Sharjah, but then Sharjah rent started going up. Then did you know where people moved? They would move to Ajman. Okay, so just for the uninitiated, the way Dubai is right here. Abu Dhabi's here. Okay, Abu Dhabi's here. Okay, that's like the last emirate on this side, I believe. After this, I think you get into Saudi Arabia. But all the other emirates, generally speaking, from my general basic geography and knowledge, are on this side. So after Dubai comes Sharjah, then Ajman, then do you know what emirate comes after that? Quiz question. Anybody know what comes after Ajman? Anybody in the room? Al Quwain. Okay? Then comes Ras Al Khaimah. So people then who couldn't afford Sharjah would move to Ajman. Because they can, from Ajman, you can still commute into Dubai. It's like an hour and a half. Hour tops. But with traffic, it can become 2.5 hours, 3 hours, right? And then with Al Quwain, I knew people who lived in Al Quwain and worked in Dubai as well. It was very normal. So people will move, guys. Like, don't think that people won't move, and that's fine. So people will move to different emirates, and then people will move back from different emirates as well. Everybody who's here watching, welcome. Salman Dawood, UAE Saeed Extra. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Jalal Masumi. If you guys got questions, I would love to hear your questions here. Jalal says, Assalamu alaikum, with a hug. Walaikum salam rahmatullah. Hugs back to you, okay? So the gentleman says, like, don't you think people move out of the emirate? That's true, but you've got to understand that the rents are going up. The rents are going up because there is an undersupply. Demand is higher. It's simple basic economics, okay? When demand is here and supply is here, there's always a difference of prices because there's too many people willing to pay for the amount of supply that's available, right? So prices, what happens to prices? Prices go up, okay? It's very simple. It's very common. It happens all the time. But the other is also true, right? When supply goes up and demand does not increase or demand comes down, prices of rental values will come down, okay? But in this scenario, it is what it is. People will end up moving to Sharjah or Ajman or Al Quwain and Ras Al Khaimah. And the reason is because Dubai has more demand and people are still willing to rent at a higher price. Hi, hello everybody on YouTube. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining in. If you say hello to me in the questions area on YouTube, I will know your background and who you are. Otherwise, I can't. But on Instagram, I can see your name, Nabil, Jalal, Krishna. Hello, everybody. Okay, so Muhammad Hijab, I hope I was able to answer your question, okay? Another question is from Basil Waked. Basil Waked, okay? And I'm going to read his question. I purchased 2 properties in Dubai without the marketeer verifying my financial solvency. Okay. So what does this mean? Without the marketer or the salesperson verifying your financial solvency. Anybody who's listening, can you fathom or decipher what he's saying in the comment section? Do you understand what he's saying over here? Anybody can understand what he's saying? He brought 2 properties, but the marketer sold him without verifying his financial solvency. What does that mean? Do you know what that means? I'm having the best coffee in my life. So I want you to tell me what that means. He bought 2 properties. And what he's saying is that the gentleman or whoever sold him did not verify that this person could actually pay the full price for the properties. But then I've got a question for you. Okay? All right, Anu? If you walk into a Lamborghini showroom, and let's say if you walk into the Lamborghini showroom and the guy says, look, all you need to do is pay me 20,000 dirhams today and you can drive away with this Lamborghini. But you know that the Lamborghini is not 20,000 dirhams, right? It might be 800,000 or 1 million dirhams or whatever. Then let's say you've got 20,000 dirhams today or 50,000 dirhams. But then he goes on to tell you, Miss Anu, the balance payments, let's say it was 200,000. Okay, you had 200,000 and you paid him 200,000. And he said the balance payment is 10 or 15,000 dirhams per month. What are you going to do? Okay, you're going to think, okay, I've got this 200,000 dirhams. I could pay this, drive away with the Lamborghini, but then you've got to pay monthly 10 or 15,000 dirhams, right? Aren't you going to think in your mind and think, okay, can I make these payments? You have to plan. Like he or she is not giving you that Lamborghini for free, right? You still have to pay the balance payments, yes or no? So then if I told you and I took your 200,000 and I said, go away now, you're good, and you walked away and a month later came to your friend and said, oh, you don't know how to make the balance 10 or 15,000 dirhams. Are you at fault or me? Or are we both at fault? Fault's kind of like with you, but okay, I'll even take the fault on me, right? I'll say, okay, we're both at fault. But you've got to understand that the marketer or the salesperson's job is to sell. I do agree, by the way. I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Maruf Qazi, okay? Maruf Qazi, one of my earlier mentors, more than a decade ago. He told me, Fahd, never put anybody under financial stress. So if somebody can't afford a property, sometimes there are people who get super excited and they'll walk away with the car because they're so excited about the car. The car could be their dream, right? They wanted to buy it since ever. So he always told me, never sell to somebody who can't afford something. So you've got to be a little bit careful. So this gentleman goes on to say that, you know, he can't make the obligations, which are the future payments. And unfortunately, you're not the only person I've actually come across. There have been other cases where people could not make other payments post-purchase in the Dubai market. I would say, please be responsible. Look at your own, can you afford what is being paid? Okay. Can you afford the further payments, so on and so forth? Then you will be okay. All right. Are we on a break? Okay, it's running. Okay. Guys, can you see me? Can you hear me? Because I can't see anybody. The beauty of this and not being on national television is like you can drink coffee, like, you know, it can be a little bit more casual. Imagine my sister used to do national television, like every single movement people are watching, like you can't and you know there's bloopers around that, right? Okay, Jalal asks, so Basil, I would say, like, guys, listen, what preventive measures is the Dubai government taking to avoid such, like, you know, they educate people, they educate brokers, right? They educate brokers to be ethical, but at the same time, like, come on, guys, like, you've got to be responsible as well. You kind of like put your money into a property where you didn't know that you could afford it, and like, what were you thinking as well? Like, you've got to be responsible as well, okay, at some stage, okay? So I've got a good question here from Jalal Masumi. Everybody else, welcome, Quentin. What is your opinion? In my opinion, the best villa community at the moment to invest 6 to 8 million dirhams. I think this is just my opinion, but you would look at, so if you're thinking about investment, right? You got to think about infrastructure. You got to think about how it's going to develop. Now, you could, technically speaking, look at Dubai Hills as one of the more mature communities, or, you know, one of the other developers like the Mac Hills, so on and so forth. But these are more mature. Like, these communities are 6-7 years old. A lot of stuff's already been done over there. The malls are there. The masajids are there. The road network, the trees are, you know, 6-7 years old, right? So they're looking good, mature. So if you want to invest and seek maximum capital appreciation, you would go to those communities which are relatively newer, like the Valley or Imar South or Arabian Ranches 3 or the Mac Hills 2, for example, or you know, one of those other communities which are yet to appreciate, like, a lot, okay? So they've not appreciated a lot, and they're still appreciating, but there's still a lot of runway and still a lot to come. Okay. Hey guys, everybody watching on YouTube, if you guys got questions, please shoot them across. I'm gonna take a question over here. So this is a gentleman, Mohammed Ijab asks, "Hi Fahd, this is my second question. I hope you don't mind ask questions several times." I absolutely don't mind. You can ask questions as many times as you want. If you feel I have missed out a question, please by all means ask again. You know, we're human. I'm human. I could have missed a question. I'd love for you to ask again, because then I would love to actually answer your question. So he got an offer to buy a studio in an area in a project, but the area is smaller than the average size in the market by 20 square meters. Okay, 20 square meters. Salam, sir. Walaikum salam, Bushan on YouTube. Do you recommend buying a property bigger size old one instead of off-plan one in this case? So you said 20 square meter, but I think you meant 20 square feet. Look, a studio should be somewhere between 400 square feet to 500 square feet. Okay, this is ideal. But if you said 20 square feet less, and so you mean about 380 square feet, this could also work in a good community, good location, good developer, good everything else, and it would work. Okay, what you're going to have to see is, are the other things aligning? So I would recommend, yes, for example, as a basic, that try to see if you can get a bigger size. But then what also comes into play is, can you actually afford it, right? So maybe you're going down the off-plan route because it's easier, the payments are easier. You got to remember, if you're going to buy ready property, older building, fine, but you're going to have to outlay all the money today, either that or get the bank involved. Okay, does that make sense? So either way, you've got to see your requirement, your situation, and then if you can manage the money, but you can't manage a ready property with all the money required, maybe look for an off-plan property which is slightly bigger studio, okay, or a slightly bigger one bedroom, right? Does that make sense? Because sometimes, guys, sometimes some investors are chasing the lowest price, and when you are chasing the lowest price because your budget wants that, needs that, that's fair. But if you've got a decent budget, then don't chase the lowest price, because you might actually lose out on the best potentials. Okay, any other questions? I'm happy to answer your questions on YouTube live or Instagram. Welcome Maliha, Bushan, Jalal, Krishna. On YouTube, I can't see your names until and unless you actually say hello to me in the questions area. So say hello if you have a question. If you don't have a question, still say hello, and I'll say hello back to you. All right, so let's take this question. Asks a question, Bishan. I can see a question. As a newcomer to Dubai real estate market, I am interested in understanding whether it's more challenging to sell off-plan properties compared to ready move-in ones. What do you guys think? What's more challenging to sell, off-plan or ready? Off-plan, okay. What do you think? What do you guys think? Which one? The people listening, which is more challenging, off-plan or ready to move in? You said off-plan, yeah? I want to poll the people watching as well. Which one do you guys think, Jalal, everybody on YouTube, which one do you guys think would be more challenging to sell? Is it off-plan more challenging to sell, or is it a ready property more challenging to sell? Which one do you guys think is more challenging? Any takers? One person in the room said off-plan. Okay, I can understand why she said that. Anybody else over here who thinks it's off-plan or ready? Any takers? Nobody wants to venture forth. Okay, guys, Faze, welcome. They both have their challenges. Okay, now I'll tell you, off-plan can in sometimes be actually easier. Why? Because sometimes, so Jalal says at the moment off-plan, fine, okay, that's one answer. Sometimes off-plan can be easier. Why? Is because sometimes you're selling off a brochure, and you know how perfect the brochure can be. right? Which is why I mostly tell my investors, like, whatever you're seeing in the brochure, whatever brochure, like minus 20% of the excitement, are you still happy with this property? Because the brochure can look really nice. Sometimes the real does not. Have you ever seen an ad for any famous burger outlet? Anything, fast food. But when you go and order, sometimes the burger doesn't look as amazing. Yeah, because the picture's perfect, right? They put like special shine. Have you ever seen where the coffee, this is famous. You know how they take coffee pictures? Do you know how they create bubbles on the coffee? They put dishwashing liquid on it to take perfect pictures, so that it looks like this bubbly, nice drink, okay? So you can't. So if you're an actor in one of these, don't drink them, right? Which is fine, but it looks amazing. But when you order the real thing, sometimes it doesn't look the same. Yes or no? Okay. So so sometimes off plan can be easier, and sometimes I'm not gonna say like everybody fibs or bends the truth a little bit, but you will find some developers, not all of them. Sometimes some developers might say like, this project was delivered 5 years ago, but the new one that we're doing is going to be ultra luxury, super amazing, and it's going to be just out of the park. It's going to be amazing. Welcome Jeremy on Instagram, okay? Whereas real can sometimes, if the real property is 1 year old, it might actually look old, right? When you walk in, the sun might have set from the window onto the other side of the apartment building. So now the property might be a little dark, right? Right, Anu? So you understand. So when you're buying on paper, you're buying an apartment that looks amazing. The light is amazing. They put furniture in there that looks perfect. It's all a picture. But when you walk into an actual property, it could be empty, have no furniture. Now you've got to use your mind to furnish it and see what if it's at sunset time and there's no electricity there? Now it's dark all of a sudden. Of course, if somebody's smart, they could make the property look really, really nice as well, right? And that could look even nicer than the brochure. So Bushin, to answer your question, both have their challenges. It's brokers who worked in both areas. Neither of them are easier than the other. They both have their challenges. It's how you learn to overcome those challenges. Okay, I'll give you another example. It's like saying, I don't know another example right now. An analogy that's easier to understand. What would be a good analogy of people? They could do it this way or that way, and both would have challenges. Okay. Something's not coming into my mind right now. Shrestha says sometimes ready property is difficult to sell, I believe. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's easier as well, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to take the other side now. And I'm going to say, no. Sometimes ready property, especially even also in this market, like sometimes people are looking to get rental return coming in. They want to live in the property immediately. Guess what? Now all of a sudden, your ready property is easier to sell to them. Does that make sense? Okay. So good question, Bushin. If you guys have more questions, keep them coming. Bushin says, given Brown Rice says, thoughts on Expo City. I think Expo City is going to be really, really good. Look, how many times have I been to so I went to the Expo, bless us, when did the Expo happen? In 2022? 2021? Yeah. 2021 October. And then it went on till 2022, 6 months, right? So October, and then it went on till 2022. Right? Is that what happened? Okay. Besides the point, I've been there twice or thrice. The infrastructure around that area with the metro station. Have you guys been there? No. Okay. Are you living in Dubai? Travel around. It's amazing. So go there, experience the place. Like, even while there's not a lot of people living there today, they built that infrastructure for millions and millions and millions of people to come in And all of that infrastructure around Expo City with the metro station already there, with a lot of stuff already present, is very good. Okay. Now, all the developer has to do is take all of that that's already available and then just expand it, enhance it, bring exceedingly tremendous value to the whole equation and allow for people to benefit from that. So, which is why if you're investing in Expo City today, it's not the lowest price. Okay, you've got to remember it's not the lowest price, and the reason it's not the lowest price is because there's a lot of infrastructure already there. Okay, any other questions from Instagram or YouTube? I would love to hear from you guys. More questions coming in, guys. Okay, let's take some investor questions. Okay. Somebody says, how safe is my investment if I'm not physically present in Dubai? Somebody said this the other day. Like, the three things that the United Arab Emirates offers is security, opportunity, and community. Okay. So the security of having a property in Dubai, like, to be honest with you, I don't know any other country in the world where your property is absolutely amazingly safe, right? You've probably seen videos, like, I don't encourage this, that people put their wallet on a car and left away, and they put their wallet in the mall and left away. Okay, I've done this, by the way. Like, I was in one of the prominent malls in Dubai the other day with a guest who lives in another country. See, I don't mention countries anymore. That's good. Or the mall. And, you know, so they sat us down, and then it was like there's a buffet there, so you walk away to the buffet. But I always have this nagging feeling like, you know, somebody else is going to take the table, because if they see nobody sitting there, even though the waiters have sat us down, they might feel, okay, you know, well, you know, I don't think it's a real fear. I don't think it should be really, really there, but it's there. So I just put my phone there or my glasses, and my friend said, like, don't leave your phone here, somebody would take it. I'm like, nobody's going to take it. And then he said, look, there's a lot of people around here. The restaurant's pretty full. And I said, don't worry about it. But that, of course, when he started talking to me about this, I started feeling a little bit like, maybe I'll leave my glasses here, take my phone. But I think I ended up just leaving my phone there, and nothing happened. Alhamdulillah, okay? I don't encourage this. This was not an experiment. I was just trying to hold the table, okay? I don't encourage this. But I do remember during my school years, when I was abroad, and I remember very clearly, it's so funny. Like, I think I got into a bus and I left my bags there because I wanted to go and get something else from the bus station. And the guy sitting there, and he's like, never leave your bags unattended like that. And because I was like living in Dubai, I was like, okay, like, he's like, this place, you know, you got to be careful. I'm like, okay, fine. So how safe is your property in Dubai? It is extremely safe. So, Brown Rice, I hope I answered your question. Hey guys, everybody watching on YouTube, I see there's tons of people on YouTube. Say hello, say hi. Hello, Jalal. Thanks for staying around, man. I like the fact if you're still around. Dubai off plan. Hello. Let's take some agent questions. How can I quickly assess if they're visa motivated or yield focused buyers? Simple answer, just ask them. Ask them what they want, okay? Generally speaking, yeah, there are people who are buying a property in the Dubai market and they're looking to get a golden visa. But, you know, nobody's here just to put money in for a golden visa. Generally speaking, they'll always have some other ulterior motive, such as, you know, they want profitability. They want to come here and live here because, you know, they always travel here, so on and so forth, okay? What's the best way to explain Dubai's regulatory framework without overwhelming them? This is for agents. How do you explain? There are some videos I've created on escrow accounts. I would recommend that you tell people, like, look, Dubai's regulatory framework is in my opinion, is one of the best in the world, if not the Middle East, okay? They've learned from the best from everybody else around the globe, and they've pretty much implemented it in Dubai, okay? And you know, that doesn't mean that, oh, they've never made any mistakes before. No, you know, it's like anything else. Things happen, and they've learned, and they've done really, really well, okay? I would say explain the escrow account, explain the REST app, REST REST app, so on and so forth, and people should be good. Okay, they will understand a lot of what's going on. Welcome everybody. Bushan, Jalal Masumi, Dubai Off Plan, Aida, Shahriar, Assalamu alaikum. Guys, if you guys have questions, please give me. Otherwise, I'll just go over the questions that I have received from people and answer them right now. I'm going to be here for another 5-10 minutes. Okay, let's take some investor questions. Can I get a mortgage? Can I get a mortgage as a foreigner? Do I need to pay in cash? The simple answer is yes, but talk to a mortgage consultant, okay? Because the rules and regulations are slightly different. If you got questions that are pertinent to you and are really, 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 really like, you know, you're really anxious to ask, please do ask. I will answer right now. Will I need a UAE bank account to own a property there? The short answer is no. Okay, generally no. So you don't need to have a UAE bank account to own a property here. And you might be wondering, what does that mean? Well, generally no. But I would encourage you to, as you get into the property market in Dubai, to open your own bank account. Why is that? Because at some stage you're going to rent your property out. So you got to collect rent. Where does that rent go? You've got to put it into some kind of bank account here, right? Or maybe after a couple of years, you choose to sell your property. If you're selling your property, what happens in that scenario, right? You've got to collect the money somehow, okay? So yes, that's some of the stuff that you need to watch out for. A bank account might be good. Should I start with new launches or resale options for this client? Which client? I think that it depends, okay? I think you should start by educating your client, explaining to your client all the things that make a good launch, a bad launch, what's special about this project versus that project. Understand their requirements, understand their strategy, and then you start applying. Like, to be honest with you, I've had clients who've ended up buying in a launch event because it just made sense for them. And I've had clients who never bought in a launch event. It didn't make sense to them, right? Okay. Last couple of questions, guys, and then we will say goodbye. How do I handle objections about market stability from overseas investors? That's a tricky question. Guys, listen. I think you can handle questions about market stability if you yourself understand market dynamics, okay? First of all, understand that real estate goes in cycles. Goes up, comes down, goes up, goes down, comes up, goes down, okay? And in emerging markets, the cycles are quite pronounced. Like, you know, emerging markets can tend to be speculative, and then property prices go up very fast, come down very fast, go up back very fast, okay? This used to be the case earlier days in Dubai. Today, Dubai is a more maturing market. It's a better, more stable market. So the cycles are not too pronounced, number one. Number two, the cycles that we've seen in Dubai correlate to the rest of the world, which was the global financial crisis of 2008, the world economy slowing down in 2014, 15, so on and so forth. The one time that Dubai actually delinked themselves, in my opinion, to the rest of the world was the weird pandemic. Like we've seen, while the rest of the world was kind of struggling, Dubai kind of recovered, didn't struggle, and is thriving today, okay? So while you say market stability, understand and tell people, like, look, markets go up and markets come down. This is quite normal, okay? Every area, everywhere in the world, you've seen this and this happens. This is normal, nothing to be scared of. The only thing in Dubai is when you're coming in, you're trying to buy value. Don't try to overspend. Don't try to speculate, so on and so forth. And you should be okay. All right. Last question from an investor. What documents do I need from my home country to buy property in Dubai? Just your identification, which is your passport. And, you know, one additional identification that could be your could be a driving license and something like that. So that's what's generally asked for in the Dubai market. All right, guys, thank you very much for everybody watching and coming through. I really appreciate you guys and for the questions that came through as well. Guys, listen, generally speaking, I go live on Saturdays at 11 to 12, okay? Dubai time. If you guys send your questions in advance, I will generally cover your questions, or if it requires and it fathoms, I will make a video response to your question. Thank you very much for watching. I say goodbye for now.